Hey, Matthias, welcome back and thanks for joining me.
Hey Reed, so good to be back. Thank you for
Yeah,
inviting me.
absolutely. I think this is your third time, third time on.
Third time, yeah.
Yeah, number three. I feel like at some
First
point,
time
if
was around
once you hit,
Christmas.
yeah, exactly. I'm just thinking like similar to Saturday Night Live. Once like five timers should get like that special jacket, you know?
Oh, nice.
I know, right? I should have somebody make one of those up. But yeah, it's our first time doing in kind of a Christmas special. I think this should be a little bit fun, make it a bit festive
Yeah,
for this time of the year, but also still something to learn that we can dig into with some AI and fabric. But yeah, thank you for joining me on your Friday evening.
yeah. I mean, we talked about this. Could we make it work and stuff? And we both realized we didn't really have time till Christmas. But I mean,
Yep,
if we can turn it into a Christmas special, of course we can make it work.
exactly. Yeah. So I think it should be both informative and playful today. And as people have seen in the description, there will also be a special guest that we'll be having as well, who will be joining us in a little bit. But Matthias, why don't we start with, for the people who don't know who you are, a little background about yourself, and then also what we'll be talking about today.
Yes, happily. So, for those who don't know me, I'm Mathias Halkjær. I am a Microsoft MVP as well as a principal architect for a pan-European consultancy called Fellowmind. I work mostly with the data analytics and with the data analytics team at Fellowmind, but also working with customers who want to use the data for, well, in novel and new ways with the generative AI. So, covering that whole broad spectrum of, well, everything data basically.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And the topical topic of the day today around Christmas, what are we going to be getting into? What are some of the things we'll be learning about fabric?
Oh. So I've been looking forward to today because today we are going to explore Fabric, but we are going to explore Fabric from the angle of generative AI. So we're going to see some of the possibilities we have in Fabric where we can use AI, where we can be assisted with AI, and then we're also going to go deep into just OpenAI and look at some of the possibilities in there today. And we have a practical, fun case example here where we do have a special guest who is going to be asking for help.
Yes. So before we start, let's dial up the Christmas a little bit. Like let's show off your shirt that you have. Like what is that sweater that you're wearing?
So this is my very newly bought I'm sexy and I snow it shirt
Yeah.
with
All right.
lights and everything. How
The
about
meme
yours?
shirts are great. Yeah. So
Yeah,
I'm
me too.
going for Christmassy, but also like for certain people who have watched a certain trilogy, you're probably very familiar with um, the Tower and the Eye of Sauron and the rings that are all over my arms. So Lord of the Rings slash Christmas. It's a great way to
Amazing.
combine the two of that. I can also continue to up this a little bit. I added some production value, so I can make it snow. You know, add a bit of a
Oh,
Christmas snow to this as well.
don't turn it
But
up too much. We make it cold.
well, that's why we're wearing the sweaters.
True, true.
Yeah, yeah. But do you think it's about time for us to bring in our special guest as well and add one little last bit of Christmas flair?
Yes, I think we should introduce the guest. The guest that, I mean, do we even know the name of the guest? Let's let the guest speak for themselves.
Yeah. Welcome our third special guest. Yeah.
Snow!
Hey,
Yay! Oh, right.
Beautiful.
Yay! Hey, everybody.
yay!
Welcome, welcome. Santa's helper, is it?
It's
Yep.
Santa's helper.
Do you like my Christmas jumper?
Yeah, you know,
Ooh,
I
Jump
do.
up.
It's definitely looks like something that is perfectly sized for a person of your stature.
Thank you very much. Well,
Mhm.
and
I'm having a bit of a
newly
panic.
shaved and everything. It's good on you.
Thank you.
You could definitely tell you got a haircut recently.
Yeah,
Thanks.
yeah.
Mm. So I'm having a bit of a panic at the moment. Ah, ah,
Oh
ah,
no.
ah, ah, help me, Matthias, help me, please,
I'll help you.
please, please,
I'll help you.
please. Sorry.
Do you have a name, by the way, or are you just Santa's helper?
Well, I do go by the name of Fab Rick.
Fabric. Oh, cool.
Yeah, Fabric.
So, fabulous Rick, how can I help you?
Well, unfortunately, shh, don't tell Santa. Shh.
Oh no.
I have lost the addresses of some of the boys and girls. The ones that want skateboards, I've no idea where they live. So I don't know where I'm going to deliver the presents.
Oh.
I'm panicking.
Okay, don't worry. But I mean, that's not good. You're probably scared that Santa's going to sack you or something. Yeah, Santa and his sack.
He's a meanie, Santa. You don't want to work for him.
I can help you. I can help you with that. We can sort this out. This sounds like a data problem. As long as Santa has some sort of database or Santa base or what we should call it.
Yeah, of course Santa's got a database. What is he, an idiot?
No.
I mean, no. I heard last I checked he kept all of his data in CSV files that was sitting on floppy disks in a file cabinet.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean,
and not 3.5 floppy disks, the true 5.5 floppy disk, old school traditional floppy disks.
Could be, no, but what I heard is Santa is more modern than that. I think I was introduced to a lake house even from Santa. So.
Ooh, okay.
More than iceberg.
Yeah, I was gonna say, well, it's a frozen over lake house, you know, with an ice skating rink on top.
Yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm. I mean, what do you call a lake house on the North Pole? I don't really know, but probably a bad investment.
Yeah, exactly. Nice.
Okay. Well, I can help you with that. You seem distressed. Do you have other problems, or should we discuss those later?
I mean, let's just get this one sorted out now, and then we can worry about the other problems later.
Oh, yeah, we can do that. So I've got access to Santa's lake house here. So let's try to dig into it, see if we can solve this problem, and find out who are missing their skateboards. I don't have the addresses, but I can get you the names, and I think that should be plenty enough.
Phew! Thank you.
Luckily, Santa already has a good data set here, so we can just go to the lake house, explore for a bit. He has here, well, how do you see it? He has a person dimension, present dimension, and some sort of a wish list bridge table, and that should be plenty enough for us to actually find the answer to this question. So if we go to this default data set, the default semantic model of the lakehouse, we already have, like, out of the box, a standard data model that covers this. And you know what? We can go to this data model. It's and we can create a report. So we pick a published semantic model here. We take the Santa Lakehouse, and we can even auto-create a report.
Amazing.
Yes. And we'll see if it's good enough.
Well, good enough is good enough.
Good enough. We have.
It is taking a while, though. Does it normally run this slow?
No, it's always blazingly fast. No problems at all.
It's being weighed down by all the Christmas wish requests that are happening from the kids this time of year, and last minute letters going to Santa.
Oh yeah, I'm buying that. Maybe you should have scaled up before we started.
It should be scaled. Anyway, we have, of course, pre-cooked and cheated a bit here for you, because we did go through this exercise already. We'd opened here, we used Copilot to generate this report for us. And you know what? This was generated just by telling it, we want to analyze the wishes by the priority. So we have already here out of the box a data model, a report that shows us exactly what you need to know. You need to know here, how many people are needing skateboards. And I have here the list here of 50 people where skateboards is the first priority. So all we need to do is now go and edit this report and find out who exactly those 50 people are. And that should be doable. We can just add a simple list of persons' names here, and we have a list of names, and if we just click, of course, with the cross filtering and everything, there you go. There's your list of all the skateboard people. So, how do you say? Should I just export this, send it to you, or just give you access to the report, and you can use this yourself?
You should always export data, right? You definitely just only export data. That's the only reason you use Power BI is to export data into Excel.
Yeah, you know it. You know
it. Why don't you just share the report with me?
What?
Can you just share it with me? I mean, that would be secure, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would be a secure way. Of course I can share it with you. You know what? By the end of this meeting, you'll have access and you could go and explore this data all by yourself. So when tomorrow you discover that you also don't have the list for whoever was wanting bicycles, you can just use this.
Perfect. Thank you. You've saved my bacon if I was a pig, but I'm not sure.
A pig. Yeah,
but
I do like that it. Oh, just one thing related to the report. I do appreciate that it uses the ribbon chart as one of the included natives. Just as a fun fact, by the way, notice. Do you see that that the ribbon chart now has an actual y-axis? That is something that we have not had on the ribbon chart until December of this year. That is a new feature from the core visuals team, by the way. It's the fact that it has we have the explode versus erode option for stacked pieces, and now because you can choose between the two in terms of the spacing and all that, it means that you can have a fair scale, which means you can actually have a y-axis now. So all the bars are in scale with each other. Before that feature, we never actually had a y-axis on a ribbon chart.
Sorry. Sorry, I fell asleep then. Was that interesting?
That was interesting. but you know what?
Cheeky puppet.
But you know what, Fabric or Fabulous Rick or whatever it was, if you ever wanted to create other reports, you do have to, if you have the Copilot, if you have the large enough capacity and it rolled out to your tenant, you could go and even suggest new content for the say on the same data, and it could give like suggestions. Maybe you wanted some present matching here by person, then you could also go just click create, and with a single click, it's actually going to create now even a new report for you. So starting up making reports should not be a problem again for you. I hope you don't call me next time for this minor problem.
Oh no! Oh, sorry.
No.
Thank you. I'm just having a bit of a technical problem in the background here.
Oh, your background is falling apart. No. That's fine.
That's fine. Yeah. I'll cover that. Yeah. Well, I mean,
so Fabric, you had other problems, you said.
Yeah. I've got another. Well, my background is falling down. Can you help with that?
No, I cannot.
Well, I did have another problem, and it's. Shh! Don't tell Santa. This is even worse. I have lost the naughty list.
No.
I don't know who is good, who's bad. So I think we should make everybody bad.
You know, I think my kid counts on being on that nice list. This is a big problem.
Well, for the nice kids, it's a problem. For the naughty kids, they don't care.
That's true. So
they all get fossils for Christmas, anyways.
So what you're saying is we should get the nice list back, but it's gone. Do you have anything else we can use?
Well, I mean, I can tell you a secret.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it just you and me? No one else is listening? Well, what we do is we spy on children all year long.
What?
Okay. And so what we do is the elves spy. So and then we report back to Santa. So we know exactly what you've been doing. Yes, we know what you've been doing. And so, it's falling to bits. Okay, so we know exactly what you've been doing. Yes, So we've got all those reports in a Access database. We've just upgraded from Fox Pro. So, is that something you can help with?
Yes, we can help. So I had the idea, if you have all these spy reports of reporting in on children, we could have an AI analyze that data and bring you some sort of naughty or nice data back. So let's.
What's an AI?
An AI. Oh, an AI. It's an artificial intelligence, which is basically a fancy word for saying let the computer think for you. Even though it technically doesn't think, it just predicts what the next word should be. Anyway, that's going to be a lot of technical back and forth. But to sum it up, we can ask it questions and it gives us an answer. And we can do this systematically and programmatically. So we can even use it to go through your whole list of children and ask the question for each one of them and ask, do you believe that this child or this person has been nice or naughty? And we should get some data back. So yeah, we can use AI to even enrich some of our data.
Cool.
Do you want to see?
Do that before Santa figures it out. Because he's a meanie. I
mean, we don't want the elves to have low elf esteem.
Oh, that's
I need a drum roll button for that. Where's my dad joke button?
I have a whole paper here, so don't worry.
I'll do a sad face. There you go.
Do you know why Santa is going to music school these days?
No, why is Santa going to music school these days?
He's trying to improve his rapping skills.
I'm gonna throw a snowball at you for that one.
Right. Okay. Back to the AI. So I prepared a notebook for you. So a notebook is an interactive tool that lets you combine text with code that we can run one step at a time. So here we can start by exploring this data of Santas, and let's just look at how it looks so we understand what we're working with here. Yeah, we just need for this to spike up. So while we
how long is this going to take? I mean, Santa can't wait forever.
No, you cannot. This should take not long.
Sorry, my background's crashing, but keep going. Pretend it isn't happening.
There we have
it.
So
good.
Here we have your Santa data from Santa's Lake House. Bunch of names. We have the age. I can see the problem here. Your is nice column is full of null values. Someone must have went and deleted all the data from there. I wonder who would have done that. Anyway, as you said, yes, there's a description here. There's a description here, like someone here called Tony Hork that has showed exemplary behavior by helping an elderly neighbor carry groceries up the stairs despite pouring rain. That's clearly good behavior. That's a nice list person.
He did that while on a skateboard, right?
Probably, yeah. He also his skateboard is also his number one wish here. We also have another one, some Bam Majara, who has played not the best behavior here. He was observed rudely pushing past an elderly woman in a crowded store without offering her assistance or even an apology. That's naughty behavior there. But the problem is that
give him
coal indeed. But it's a long list. I don't think we have the time to go through this manually, and it doesn't sound like the elves has that time either. So let's put the AI to work. I've done a little bit of preparation here for our meeting today. So I did already prepare a notebook here, was setting up a method to call the OpenAI API so we can start asking it questions. And we can start by doing the first question we run here. And we need to run this first. And then this one again. and then we should be. So we're asking here, hello, how are you for the AI? And it'll tell us here that, hello, I am an AI language model, so it doesn't have any feelings. That makes sense, but it's ready to assist us. So we set it up. We have a connection to the AI. So you know what we did, Fabric? We just
what did you do?
We added some text here, so-called prompt, where we just explaining the AI which kind of role and task it should take for each of your data points. We told it here that it is one of Santa's little helpers. We needed to review the field reports and determine if the person is naughty or nice. Now we also make it very clear that it can only respond with either true or false, and it shouldn't use the brackets. So just true or false values. And here we give the actual information. We give it the person, the age, and the description of that person. And then we finally ask it again, is it a naughty person or a nice person? And again, remember to respond with true or false and nothing else. So we're actually nudging it to give us some structured data, in a sense.
Is a naughty and nice based upon their age and what they look like?
Oh,
that seems wrong.
No, but don't get me wrong here. If someone accidentally cut a line, maybe that's more of an okay behavior if you're 6 than if you are 22 years old. Or if you're driving a car, that's maybe not the nicest behavior if you're 14, but perfectly fine if you're 22. So yes, age should be considered.
All right, you get away with that one.
Yep. Thank you. Then we can, once we set this up, this is good because again, we can set this up as a flexible function here, or a flexible method. We can now load in the data again and just have that for each, just add a new column where we run this method above, input the name data and the age data and the description data, and then run that for the entire table. And you know how that looks? That looks hopefully really great.
Well, it'd be a terrible demo if it looked bad, wouldn't it?
It would be, yeah. But you know, when you're working with AI, can be hard to make it be very persistent and continual in how it gives its responses. So there's a bit of uncertainty. But look at this. It actually guessed now here. Some are true, some have been nice, some are false. But just as a little sneak peek here, did it get it right that Bam Majora was naughty? It did. He was not on the is nice list. He was false. And Tony Hawk, yeah, it guessed right. He was being good. So we can pick someone else here from the naughty list. Who else was naughty? Rodney Mullen here was also naughty. What did he do? He was age 6 and he was observed pushing a friend at the playground and refusing to apologize when her friend got hurt.
That deserves being naughty, yeah.
Yeah, that deserves to be naughty. So we have the data now. And all we need to do is, yes, we can do a little bit of structuring here. So we make some safeguards that make sure that this output, because we only just told the AI it needed to be true or false. Here we can set up some sort of guarantee that if it's not exactly true or false, we return to a null value again, because we don't want it to misrepresent or wrongly assume if the person is naughty or nice here. And as you see here, the data is back into your table and you can start using it to determine who should have coal and who should have nice presents. And you know, something cool here, because right up until this point, we are only displaying the data. So we want to save this data again. You know what we can do with AI as well? We can actually go and just have it write this code for us. So I can just use this magic formula and I can ask it to write some code for me. If this will work. I probably won't. It needs a little bit of waiting time and it will work. So I hope you're happy with the solution. And since we have to wait a little minute for this to load up, maybe
you're doing this on purpose because my arms ache. I mean, just so you know. I mean, for goodness, hurry up! Hurry up!
Let's move on. But you know what? you have your data here, and we can just write this into your table again, and everyone should be happy, and you can get on with planning for Christmas.
Woo, woo, you've saved
Virtual
my day.
high five.
Woo. High five.
Great.
Thank you.
So how about that?
That's amazing. Now, what do you want for Christmas?
Me?
What should Santa put in your sack?
So this year I've been my wish list is very nerdy, to be honest. I wished for so many Dungeons and Dragons things that you wouldn't believe it. What's that? What's that?
How old are you? 14.
No. I mean, it's Christmas. We can all be Christmas spirited. What do you wish for Christmas, Fabric?
Me, a few days off and a bit of a rest for my arm. I think that's a key bit for me. What about you, Reed? Has he gone quiet? Is he still there? You there?
Reed?
There you go. Sorry, I had to mute while I was coughing. A good cup of mulled wine and a nice comfy couch to sit in to enjoy it.
Oh, yes.
Some blue wine for the Germans.
That sounds so good.
Mm-hmm. I already got my giant slice of pizza that I asked for Christmas right there. So, you know.
Giant slice of pizza? Pizza for Christmas?
Yeah.
What's on it?
It needs to be like a pork roast, turkey, duck, something like that.
Just good old-fashioned pepperoni.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
When did pepperoni be a Christmas food?
1865 with the Great Pepperoni Famine.
Right.
Oh.
Yep. I digress.
Fabric is taking a best. Do you have any?
Oh, why Fabric is loading? Yeah.
Fabric has other problems here. Do we have?
There is a reason it is still in preview. Some of it is in preview.
Yeah. No, let's move on. This is it's not preview, but it's probably bugging up here.
Slightly, yeah. So does Fabric need to be on the naughty list?
Some days need to be on the nice list, some days on the very nice list, and some days, it should belong on the naughty list, I'd say. Right now it seems to be on the very naughty list. I don't think I can reconnect, but that's fine.
This is why I have all these extra animations that I acquired to keep people entertained. Why Fabric does it. I have an elf that can literally do a song and dance for you. Or a penguin, depending on your preference.
That's nice. No, but we can move on. I mean, we saw here, we got the data. Which is actually what I think is cool about the tools we have available today. That AI is not just for chatbots anymore, or generative AI is not just for chatbots. We can actually use it for something in our data. We can actually use it to analyze or interpret our data, even summarize it or things like that. So that's pretty neat. So that's cool. But Fabric, you had you had other problems as well. So we solved 2 of them. You seem very distraught, and I think the third one was the worst one, or how was it?
Yes. Just remind me what that one was again.
You told me yesterday. Did you forget already, or did someone do mind tricks on you? No, you told me that the Grinch had been playing around with your data as well, inserting a digital Grinch virus into your database. Somewhere in your whole list of people, the Grinch is hiding in your database.
Oh yeah. I didn't forget that. Honestly, yes, the Grinch.
Oh no,
he's hiding.
Bad code.
Can you help me find the Grinch?
Yeah, sure I can. Do you think he's the one who's been deleting the data as well?
Honestly, I wouldn't want to kind of accuse the Grinch, because he has quite a large legal team working with him. So I think we should just leave him alone. And
okay. So no false or no wild accusations here. Okay. Well, we should find the Grinch in this data, is what you're saying.
if you can.
We can try. We can try, definitely. So, this is fine. So I've actually prepared a Santa GPT. So when you have this problem again in the future, you can use the Santa GPT, or Santa can use the Santa GPT, and maybe even just not have to pay for your salary as well. Wouldn't that be nice? You can get your days off. He can sack you.
I do love that there's a literal Santa GPT.
Sorry, what was that, Rick?
I'm just saying, I love that there's just a literal Santa GPT. Also, just for resolution-wise, can you just scale the browser a little? There you go. Perfect. Yeah, that's good. Excellent.
Not a problem. So we can ask questions, and I think we can use this tool because this tool is connected, or it's using the data from the Santa Lakehouse. So we can ask questions. For example, before we jump to your problem, we could ask it if it could help us find a good example of a child that has been nice.
Let's do it.
And it's searching its knowledge because it's connected to data. It's not just the language model anymore. It's connected to some actual data. And here it found a Charles Holland, 13-year-old, who was kind and thoughtful. He helped an elderly neighbor carry groceries home on a snowy day. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice?
That's lovely. But what was he after? What happened when he carried the groceries home? He didn't do any. Didn't break into the old person's house and
no. He's in the nice list.
The bathroom for drugs. No.
Okay,
good. Right.
Oh. We can also try to see if it can find someone who's been extra nice and see if this is an even more grand gesture or grand thing that they've been doing. So again, it's going to search the knowledge. This is something, an Ellen Leon, who did an extraordinary act of kindness. She helped volunteer her time and resources to help the local homeless shelter during the harsh winter months. Isn't that nice?
That is very nice. But was that because she was stealing money from the homeless charity?
You seem like a suspicious kind of person.
Have you been hurt? Did people hurt you enough? Why are you are so jaded, Mr. Puppet?
Mr. Puppet.
It's the legal cases are going through at the moment. I'm not allowed to talk about it. There's a gag order. So maybe after the call, I can tell you about it.
Okay. Off camera and off the record. Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay, but back to your problem. We should find the Grinch. So let's try to see if Santa GPT can help us with that here. So, help us. The Grinch is hiding in the list of people. And we always should be nice to the AI. Who knows, they can be our managers in a few years from now.
Yeah. I always say thank you to Alexa. Yeah. Be polite to your Siris and your Alexas, because at some point, you might be doing orders for them.
Well, I mean, when you don't see the elves, who do you think's spying on you?
I mean, yeah.
Oh,
they're not waiting. They're not waiting to listen. They're just waiting to speak.
Do the elves use Alexa for their spying? Do you know that, Mr. Puppet?
I can't say anything out loud, but
okay.
I mean, it's not like every human on Earth doesn't carry a microphone around with them 24/7 now.
True. So let's see if we can find the Grinch. This is always exciting because it is a generative AI, and who knows what it's going to respond. It's not going to respond. It's the exact same thing that I ever got when I asked this question. So let's see if it works. it's again searching the knowledge, because of course it needs to go back to the data. Oh, it looks like it found the Grinch. Under what name? Christopher Lee. The Grinch hiding under the Christopher Lee.
That man is a treasure.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, if you need to hide from someone and you need to remove all suspicion, it's not a bad name to choose to hide behind. So what did this person do? Slyly sneaking around homes, snatching away Christmas decorations and presents, all while sporting a unique, verdant fur and mischievous grin. That is clearly the Grinch. I think we found him for you.
Oh, thank you. Now we can go and get Christopher Lee back in the film studio so we can do the next round of Lord of the Rings films.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yep.
Or
So, Mr.
vampire
Puppet,
films.
Mr. Puppet, we solved all your problems. Do you think Santa is going to be happy? Do you think he's going to give you a Christmas bonus? Is he going to make you a wealthy elfie?
No. Have you ever worked for Santa?
No,
He's
I
a
haven't.
meanie.
But you've been slaying it lately.
Slaying it? Who? No. I have not been hurting anybody. No.
Oh,
So those rumors are untrue.
okay.
And that's how the puppet has left the building.
And that's how the puppet has left the building. With a sore
shoulder
arm
muscle.
and
I'm dying.
cramping muscle.
I'm sorry. Oh, I can't keep my arm up for much longer. Oh.
Goodbye, Mr. Puppet.
Thank you for all your help. You were amazing. Bye,
Thank
boys
you.
and girls. Thank you
were
for
too.
helping.
Thanks for joining.
Bye.
And Reed, we've covered the use cases now. Making something with AI, making a report that's generated with AI. We've been enriching our data, adding new values to new columns to our data, also with the help of AI. And finally, we actually uploaded our data to a chatbot, and now we could start chatting with our data, asking questions down and getting responses that are not part of a big LLM model, but actually coming from our own data. So of course, if this was not Christmas data, this also means we could ask questions about our business, our customers, our products, our performance in general, and stuff like that. Isn't that interesting?
I mean, I think for the ability for it to do, to find the outliers, essentially, which is, we've had some visuals like the key influencers and some other stuff that's, we've had for a few years, but it's in a way kind of doing more insights of that and more targeted investigations into our data sets to help us find trends and patterns. So I do like that. It has the ability to plug directly into your data to explore it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's pretty neat.
I've always found it like its default vocabulary level, because I think what is the average American, and it's probably lower than Europe, but it's the 8th grade reading level or something like that. We were supposed to write like most articles, and it definitely writes above that. Like if you go back to that other page for just a second, it was a word that maybe not everybody knows in English was that one. It was describing verdant, the verdant fur. Like it uses some fancy words sometimes. So one thing that I've learned, at least in prompts, is please write your response at a 8th grade or 9th grade reading level. Yeah, because it often gets very wordy, which I just find is a funny quirk of ChatGPT. Is it is very verbose by default, and then you have to ask it to like be less flashy with your descriptions. Yeah,
for real. So I'm curious if anyone in the audience were having some comments we should talk about, or if they have any questions we should cover while we're at this topic of Fabric and GPT together.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll a couple of happy holidays and a few other stuff. I will again just mention that if anybody has any questions, we're welcome to chat about it now. Otherwise, I just want to at least pop up the message that Donald had, which was wishing us a happy holidays, and I appreciate that. And we have another response from someone who apparently Mark loves the puppet and wants to bring him back. I don't know. I mean, if the puppet wants to come back, the puppet can come back. We definitely can
I also
queue it back up.
Well, I agree with Mark. I think the puppet did a really good job. I think it fought through a long, hard, like muscle cramping session. So good job for the Mr. Puppet.
Ah, there he is.
Oh, he's back. Good job, Mr. Puppet.
Thank you.
So nice of you to join us.
Thank you for
a lot of
inviting me
exercise
back.
for you today. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And we do actually have a question from I'll just pop this up. So username AGBDEJ.
Yes.
Can you show us what the percentage
Yes.
code does?
Absolutely, I can. So that's, hopefully it should be loaded by now. So we'll just check it by doing this instead. So I can actually chat with the Copilot inside my notebooks here using the AI there. So in this case, it's data science expert. It can help us. This is great. So that means I can start asking questions directly inside my notebook. It's really, 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 really neat. So I can ask stuff like, how do I save a table in Delta format, for example, and it should give me a pretty good response to that.
Okay, so it's changing it from chat mode to code mode or back and forth. It's the type of you're telling it the type of input basically that you're giving it.
Yep. So there's different types of input. So you have the chat input, which will give you like a text answer, and you can use that. But if I instead had used the code input, it would return not text, but it would have returned functioning code, or possibly functioning code. And there you have like added as a new code cell. I can of course see that I need to change a little bit myself and things like that. But yeah, it's adding code that I could run.
That's cool.
For sure. It also has a function like if I have this now, I can even go here and so there's a little bit of a syntax behind this that needs to be set up. So I'm not sure this will work out of the box, but there's something also called, I think it's add comment or add comments. It will probably tell us this is wrong. Yeah. So, oh, it didn't. So if I went here, for example, I'll just go to some other code block here. We can take this one, remove the comments, and say, if we then use this command here instead. So add comments. Stop. Was it comment or comments? Didn't. So we'll just do comments, and if it gives an error,
and it automatically adds comments.
It should. It should. I mean, it's and there you go. It added comments to my code. It has I don't remember the syntax. It also has a fixed code syntax, so you can help it clean up your code and things like that. So it just gives you a toolbox of using AI also when you're writing your code, which is really, really, really neat. And you can have it author new code. And I don't think this will ever help someone who doesn't understand the code that it's outputting, because it's definitely going to be wrong often, and it's going to be doing things that are not ideal or hard to read or just not working. But if you know what it's doing, it really accelerates how you can work. You can just have the bot, the AI, the Copilot generate up some code for you. You can do the sanity check yourself. You can have it add comments and make it more readable for your colleagues. And off you go. You can suddenly ship very clean, very neat, very refactored, very neatly structured code that that you can build within just a few minutes.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah, and if you don't like live by the using the commands inside the cells, you also have the Copilot buttons where you can have it help you with things like loading data from your lakehouse. You can generate insights from the data. You can even have it suggest data visualizations for your data. We could try this with this one, see if it works. It's So we have here our data. We could just call it df and see if it can suggest ways to visualize it.
So if it's called Copilot, does it mean you're the pilot or you're the passenger?
It should mean that the user is the pilot, yeah. And so it comes with some pretty generic suggestions here. I think it could have done better here, but anyhow, it's again, that feature is in preview. So no, it's intended to be like an assistant, a co-pilot, someone who helps you work better, faster, higher quality, but who you never let run the show themselves, because you do want to be that human in the loop who does the sanity checks on whatever it outputs, because it often makes errors. It can use libraries that isn't loaded. It can do all sorts of things that will make your code not run, or even do things you didn't intend to, like accidentally delete a column because it thought that you wanted to do that, but you actually did not want to do that, and so on and so on. So it is important to always have like that human in the loop. And it also makes sure to remind us every time we add something here that remember that AI can make mistakes, so we should carefully review any code before executing. But it's just so nice.
It's very good that it mentions that. It has to cover its own back.
Yeah, absolutely. But it really feels like
just one other question that popped in from the chat is how were you able to create that bespoke chat GPT? So the Santa GPT, how'd you make that?
Yeah, so there are
give the puppets arm a rest.
Quick ways to do this very, very rapidly, which I've done because I had to make a demo here. There are proper ways to do this, which take more time, and then there's like enterprise production grade ways to do it, which can take even longer. But if you want to prototype something and do it really quick, I used the functionality in ChatGPT. Unfortunately, that functionality is limited to only ChatGPT Pro users. So not necessarily any of you in the audience can do this yourself. But I do want to throw a link to the standard GPT if you want to check it out. Actually, no, that's not as interesting. What's more interesting for the audience here is probably that I also made a Fabric GPT, which is loaded in with the data from the entire library of blog posts that Microsoft have been doing ever since the launch of the public preview of Fabric. So I can actually ask questions that the regular ChatGPT doesn't know about. So I could ask stuff like, what is one lake, for example? And it should be able to give me a pretty decent answer, searching this knowledge. So this is a ChatGPT feature. So even if I send you now here the link for the Fabric GPT, only those of you who have ChatGPT Pro will be able to use this Fabric GPT, which is unfortunate, but that's how the business model is today. And as you can see here, one lake is one drive for data, single unified data lake, and all of these things. And I could also ask more like practical matters about a specific feature. Yep. So that could be something like, what is something that's released recently in Fabric? I'm blanking out here. But in the past month, probably come up with something. But anyway, it has now all the data. So in OpenAI, this is actually fairly simple UI to set up. And this is a prototype of a custom GPT that you could do in possibly an afternoon. And if you know what you're doing, you could probably do it in a few hours or so. The hard part is just getting the right data and how you want that data to go here, because the UI is a bit manually. Unfortunately, there's no way to automatically send a file to some destination. It will be automatically added. So you do need to manually upload a file with your data. And in this case, I just scraped all those websites, pulled that into one file, and then uploaded it into this Fabric GPT, and then it has now the knowledge of all those blog posts. So the cool thing about this part is that, yes, there's a manual step in the loop. I need to upload the file. So again, it's for prototypes, it's not for production scenarios. But that code here but the code for even scraping the data and then saving that to a text file, again, I just used the tools we have in Fabric. So I created a notebook. I used the the pretty nice, beautiful soup library, which made for web scraping. And I gave it the links of the blog post, and I have it even to go through iteratively go through the list of all the pages of blog posts, and then find all the blog posts, get all those texts, mash it into one big file, then upload that back into OneLake as a file, and I could then pick it up from OneLake and upload it to ChatGPT. So
nice.
Creating this, well, SantaGPT, but also FabricGPT, both of them were like 2 or 3 hours of work on my part to make that work. Okay. It's definitely not something that takes weeks or months. It's a rapid prototyping experience. Good question, by the way.
It's good to know that there's not a massive overhead of effort and configuration to build one of these. So that's great.
No, I mean, if you want to do it more mature, like something that iteratively takes all the new data from your database, like your business documents, your business databases, and use that in your own company GPT model, you will probably want to look into something like the Azure OpenAI Studio, something like that, and explore what you can do there, because there you can also make something that's closer to maybe a minimal viable product and an MVP, where I'd say you could probably finish up a good MVP in a week or two, knowing the tools in there, where you actually then have something that is indexing on your data. It can search through whole repositories of data, and it can even fetch links to that data and references and stuff like that. So that's really neat. Still, you can take that code and you could deploy it as an application. Works for probably 80% of the cases out there. But for the last bit, you may want to find a more mature enterprise grade way of programming a solution. But yeah, so we have tools already today where we can do something very quick that are a little bit of a one shot. Works good, works for now. And we have more mature tools to make MVPs, and we also have the tools to make enterprise grade, and there's like different packages. Most of them across OpenAI and Azure covers most of those cases in my point of view.
Well, and all the stuff within Fabric and all the others, just you'll leverages versions of it of the ChatGPT 4.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I mean, you can build GPTs without Fabric for sure, but you still need data. And you still need a good place to have that data. And Fabric is just a really neat place to work with and store your data. And having that combination of Fabric together with generative AI feels like a superpower multiplied by another superpower. And it really just makes the work go so accelerated, so fast.
Exactly.
It does feel like superpower all around. And it just mix and match so much. I mean, as I showed earlier, you go and create a notebook, you have some generative AI help you write that notebook, you have it help you comment it, you make it help you structure it, refine it, make it readable for your colleagues, so you don't make it too clever, even too intelligent, and just so make it more, as you said, down to earth, so everyone else understands what kind of code that you were writing. It was really
don't
good
make
at
it
that.
look like it's talking down to you.
But it's really good at that.
This has been really fun and informative. I appreciate, Mathias, you coming on. Of course, Santa's helper as well for joining. I don't know if he was wanting to pop back on or not, but otherwise, this has been very fun, festive, and informative. Here we go. Yeah. Hey, buddy.
I really enjoyed it, and I am so impressed with how the Santa's helper was able to endure almost for a full hour of
our arm holding. Yeah. He got,
arm holding.
He's really short, so he's been having to stand on his tippy toes the whole time. Yeah. Yep. Exactly. It's been a lot of leg exercises for him. Yep.
So at this evening of poor Christmas jokes, let me finish up by the worst of all of them. Do you know why Santa is also complaining about the monopoly of Microsoft?
Why?
Because he had to stop using chimneys and now has to use Windows.
Ah, boo.
Oh well.
The puppet doesn't even know how to react. He's just slowly dying.
He's just like.
If he had eyelids, he'd slowly blink. Just be very slow blinking.
Yeah, I think I'd just mouth open cats and flies.
Yeah.
Sigh.
Yeah. That was the
Beautiful.
reaction I was hoping for. So that's great.
Excellent. Well, with that, I want to appreciate both of you for coming on. Enjoy the rest of your Friday evening for the two of you, because you're both over in Europe. And otherwise, have a great weekend. Happy holidays. And everyone else as well, enjoy whatever holiday you're celebrating around this time. And thanks for joining today. This has been great.
Bye.
Enjoy.
Bye.
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 Cheers. Thank you so much for watching. Please consider hitting that like and subscribe button. And if you want to help support this channel, take a look at our channel memberships or our merchandise store for cool swag. And last but not least, please consider sharing this video on your social media platform of choice to help our channel grow. So, until next time.